Yo, what is up guys, it is 96 Donoff and I have some really interesting news about the PS4, but before we get to that, here is some Crysis 2 gameplay you guys are seeing. It is part of the single player gameplay, but don't you guys worry, I'll be getting some multiplayer gameplay of Crysis up as well. So, now the news I have about the PS4. Earlier on the August 23rd, I believe, you know, Gamescom was up and whatnot, so Scott Lowe, who is one of the guys at IGN, he had a chance to play Battlefield 4, and he played it on PC beforehand, but he played it on the PS4 at Gamescom. So let me just quote unquote, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts, and you guys can give me your thoughts about this as well. Whether you guys think the PS4 is underpowered, or if it's not gonna, you know, do 1080 on Battlefield 4, because it's actually a really demanding game. I mean, Call of Duty, I can see that playing at 1080p because it's not really demanding enough. But like Battlefield 4, it's pretty demanding, and I have to say I've played it on PC, and although the graphics are better, you do need to spend a bit more money to get, you know, that extra boost, right? So here is what he said. Scott Lowe had said, with the arrival of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, EA and DICE have promised to bring the Battlefield PC experience to consoles, including massive scale maps, 64 player matches and 60 frames per second gameplay. But up until now, all the demos we've seen of Battlefield 4 have been running on supercharged PCs, producing jaw-dropping, unsurprisingly gorgeous results. This week at Gamescom, however, I had an opportunity to play Battlefield 4 on a PlayStation 4 development system. Once again, it's a dev system, so it might not be the full system. But he also wanted to say, in spite of EA and DICE's emphasis on narrowing the gap between consoles and PC, this week's PS4 demo did not include a full 64 player match of the franchise's beloved vehicular combat. So also he goes on to say that, you know, he was treated to a local 16 player match of domination, which, you know, limits you to a small segment of the game instead of, you know, a massive huge map. He also said the game doesn't look very good and some more stuff. Now, my opinion on this is two things. It can be true that, you know, here's how it's going to be, like it or not. When Battlefield 4 comes on the PS4 and the Xbox One, no matter what happens, it's gonna look the same on both consoles. Second thing is the PC version is going to look better. Those are two facts I'm just gonna point out. Now, my opinion is that it could look better, right? DICE haven't specifically said what resolution, and that's I'm kind of worried about what resolution they'll be playing at, because I want to see 1080p 60 frames per second, but I struggle to get 1080p 60 frames per second on PC on Battlefield 3. It's hard, okay? Because it's a really demanding game, and that's what, you know, Sony and Microsoft kind of have to see, that for demanding games like Battlefield 4, it's quite hard to push the hardware. Second thing is, it's made for PC and then ported onto console. It should be easy to port, so I don't see a problem. You know, I've looked at the specs. The specs are basically PC specs. Okay, that's what it is. It's a PC in an M80 Xbox. So they're using 64-bit, you know, they've got all this good stuff, but yet they can't seem to get Battlefield 4 running decently on the next-gen systems. Now, don't forget, guys, this is a developer kit. It's just a dev kit, right? So, when the PS4 does come out, we're obviously going to see better results than what Scott Lowe saw. But I'm just intrigued by this as well, because it kind of puts consoles down in a negative way, which I don't really want to see consoles get put down in such a negative way, right? But I mean, I don't know what to think of this, right? Is it going to be... my head's kind of like, well, when it's going to come out, it's not going to look as good as the PC version, but how good is it actually going to look? Because we know it's going to be a step up from Battlefield 3, but in terms of graphics and gameplay... really, I just don't know what to think, right? So you guys help me out here. What are your thoughts about this? Do you guys think the PS4 can run 1080p at 60 frames per second at medium, high, maybe even ultra Battlefield 4? What do you guys think of this whole thing? they haven't released the resolution yet for many of the next gen titles. Or they've said that, oh, it's 60 frames per second, blah blah blah, but the resolution isn't there. Okay, I know frames per second is good, but I prefer to have 1080p over frames, and I know many people would say, why would you do that? Well, it's just me. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys have enjoyed this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you guys are new, and check out my other videos. In the meantime, give me your thoughts on this, because I really want to see what people think about this. And peace out and have a good one.